It's time to rewire your mind. Welcome to the Hayden Russo Show, the show that provides you with inspiration to help you succeed in life. Here's your host, Hayden Russo.
Woo! Hello there. As y'all know, my favorite little saying, I like how that sound. Hello there. Listen, I gotta tell you, I've been getting feedback everywhere. I've been getting feedback from my Muslim friends. I've been getting feedback from my Turkish friends. I've been getting feedback from my Macedonian friends, my friends over in India. And this has just been so enriched and rewarding to have so much feedback from everyone. And all of it is not good feedback. I get a lot of bad feedback. Okay. But you have to remember that I'm one of those individuals. I'm either on the right track or wrong track. So when someone is bringing me bad information, I attracted that information to myself. We talked in past shows of how whatever you give to the universe, you get that image right back. So I try to come on this show and I try to be as informative as I can. I try to provide you guys with the videos or the books that I read so that you guys would have and ladies would have an understanding of where I'm getting the resources from. And so I'm sharing my resources. I'm sharing what I'm learning because the universe, the more you share, the more the universe will share with you. So my goal with this show is to try to continue to reach 10 people every show and hope that they reach 10 people and hope that 10 continue to reach individuals to help them to have a better life, to help them make more money, to help them be more fruitful, to be more prosperous, to have better marriage, be more loving, be more caring. That's what I'm trying to do with this show. Okay? Now, we told you guys that there's a delayed response when you're asking for things. I want this show to be successful. I want to have 2-3 million listeners. But it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, it's going to take time and it's going to take a lot of research. It's going to take a lot of reading. It's going to take a lot of studying videos, watching videos, speaking to people, listening to individuals, getting feedback like I've been getting. But when we're getting the feedback on where am I finding the videos? The videos are available to you, no different than the availability of the videos to me. Most of my learning, as I said to you guys in the past, that the iPhone has more technology and more capabilities than the first space shuttle that went to the moon. So I'm not just talking on the show. Okay? If you're here and you just want to listen to somebody just to pass your time, this is the wrong show. This show is not for you. This show is here to educate and to inspire and to motivate people. We're trying to help put you on the map and we're trying to give you the tools to help you get there. On this show, I don't just come and tell you, go home and say, the yard is not going to grow any weeds. The yard is not going to grow any weeds and wish that the weeds would grow away. We here on this show try to provide you the best information so that you can go out and begin to implement some of the practice and understanding, whether their finances and whether their personal relationship, whatever it is for you. I think that this show pretty much covers on all topics. And we try to reach out to everyone to get their understanding and their feedback on what's going on. But see, I'm tired of the feedback with the negativism. My wife said that's not a word, but it's a word to me. Okay. I don't like negative. I never liked it. I never will. Okay. But when you push buttons sometimes, well, you allow other people to push buttons, then you can get to that point where you let all these distractions come into your life and you're not able to move forward and accomplish some of these things. Okay. So we've given you all of the tools necessary to be successful. And now I'm going to try to see if I can wrap that thing up for you guys, because listen, the first quarter is almost over. Channel check. Check yourself. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you going after your life and doing the things to build your life to have a sustainable life in the future and live a prosperous and healthy life? Stop trying to get rich, but then you're not enriching the mind and you're not taking care of your body. I tell you what, you get to be a billionaire and you only got 3 years to live. That's a waste. Because all of the things that you're going to do in 3 years, had you had that same mindset, maybe you'd have been doing it for 30 years. This show wants to accomplish connecting with the listeners and giving you the tools that have made me successful. And you have to understand that no matter what you're doing, there's a delayed response. When you ask for what you want, you'll get it, but you're not going to get it when you want it. Sometime you'll get it in the last minute, last second. So I want you guys just to begin to have an open mind when you listen to this show. And I'll continue. I'm getting better. I'm getting better and staying on topic, not deviating. And I'm getting better with feeling that we're sitting at a kitchen table and we're having our conversation. So my question to you today is this. If the doctor told you that you had 9 months to live, would you say to yourself that you have done everything that you can do? Would you say to yourself that you have come to this universe and you have made it a better place and the world will know that the things that you contributed to society improve human mankind? What would you do with your 90 days? What would you do with your 90 days? I mean, say your 9 months left of life. I'm guaranteeing you it wouldn't be saying I got to go ride my Lamborghini. Make sure I'm going over, making sure I'm driving all over the place. I need my Bentley. Oh, I need to go home and lay in my big house. You're dying. None of that doesn't matter to you. Oh, the money. Oh, you're a billionaire, right? You don't need the money. See, the one thing that money can't buy is your health. So as we engage in this conversation today, love the people you love. Tell them you love them. Hug the people that you want to hug. Make amends with some of this old stuff that you letting drag you around, that's just like a big old dead weight holding on to your brain, and everywhere you go, you dragging all this deadbeat weight around. Let it go. Let go all those bad thoughts and those dead end relationships. Make amends with your father or whoever you've been holding back. If you haven't spoken to him in 10, 20 years, you know who I'm talking about. Now we're going to start digging into this conversation and future conversations, because we need to take this show to a whole nother level. So my goal moving forward is how I can get you the information a lot faster and get you to be able to process and understand the information. Okay? But I'm telling you, no matter what we do in this life, our first line of defense is our money. Money is not the root to all evil. Money is the service, is a good, it's a way for us to move things around and have value, and to be able to communicate with one another from a place of value and connecting each other, because money is supposed to help everyone. It shouldn't be no poverty. Only reason we're having this kind of poverty is because the poor people don't care when they get up. They don't care when they go to work. They don't care about anything. So guess what? Society doesn't give them the same thing they give. We are a product of what we produce. Wherever you are in your life right now is a result of what you produce to this point. So how do we produce things faster? How do we learn new skills? How we make ourselves more valuable to the marketplace, thereby making ourselves more valuable and earning the income that we truly look for. Dave, if you wouldn't mind going to that first clip, I'll let you know when to stop it, please.
These days on how to attract success, how to attract money, how to make millions, how to make money at home on the internet, how to make money in real estate, how to make money selling stocks, options, forex, commodities. There's one money-making seminar after the other. There are more books on how to get rich, how to become successful, how to make money coming out than ever before. There are more home study courses and online courses being sold on how to make millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars a month, on and on. And I think most of these are doing a great disservice, because they're sharing information that really is not accurate and, quite frankly, in most cases, doesn't really work. Now, I wanted to put together this audio to share with you the money-making secrets that they don't want you to know about, because there are secrets to making money that the government and certain groups don't want the average person to know. And there's a lot of reasons politically why it's to the advantage of the government to keep you suppressed, to keep you in debt, and to keep you a virtual slave.
You could pause that right there, Dave.
If you pay attention to what I have.
Now, why would it be important to the government for the poor not to be successful? Dave, I'm getting a little feedback. Why would we be in that position? Well, let's think about it. And that's why I can agree with Donald Trump on some of the stuff, getting rid of some people and open it up, because, where would we be? If we're just waiting for government handouts, okay, then the politicians got a reason to come and lie to you and ask you for your vote. Are you serious? We need to begin to get up and stop this nonsense thinking that letting our fears take over us, not going after our dreams. If you'll go to clip 1 for me, Dave, let me give them a little different view of this thing.
Let's talk about money. Men and women have been concerned about money since the first coin was fashioned in Asia Minor about 700 BC. You might say that money's like good health, in that we're concerned about it to the extent that we don't have it. The purpose of this message is to get down to basics, to clear the air surrounding the entire subject of money. To do this, I'm going to have to get absolutely elementary, and while you may already know most of the things I'm going to say, I think it's important that we remind ourselves just exactly what money is, how much of it is enough, and how to earn the amount of money you need to live the way you want to live now and in the important future years. To begin, let's get rid of the old myth once and for all that money is bad or unimportant. It is not bad, and it is important, vitally important. It's just as important as the food and clothes it buys, the shelter it affords, the education it provides, and the doctor's bills it pays. Money is important to any person living in a civilized society. To argue and split hairs to the effect that it's not as important as other things is absurd. Nothing will take the place of money in the area in which money works. That's all there is to it. What is money? Money is the harvest of our production. Money is what we receive for our production and service as persons, and which we can then use to obtain the production and service of others. We can quite often accurately gauge the extent of our production and service by simply counting the amount of money we receive for it. You will still hear people say, money won't bring happiness. The earning and possession of money has brought a lot more happiness than has poverty. Money's a warm home and healthy children. It's birthday presents and a college education. It's a trip abroad and the means to help the older people and the less fortunate. We're not saying that piling up a lot of wealth is important. What we are saying is that money is important because it's the only reward which is completely negotiable and can be used by everyone. Look at it this way. A diamond is more valuable than a lump of coal, yet that's exactly what a diamond was at one time. And just as a lump of coal can be transformed into one of the world's most valuable objects, a human being can vastly increase his own value to the world. Try to remember this formula. The amount of money we receive will always be in direct ratio to the demand for what we do, our ability to do it, and the difficulty of replacing us. A highly skilled human being is worth more money in our economy than a person who is not highly skilled and who can be easily replaced. This is not to say that one person is any better than any other person. Remember that in this message we're only talking about money, nothing else. This is why there are few limitations on a person within his company and industry. His income will be an exact proportion to the demand for what he does, his ability to do what he does, and the difficulty of replacing him. That's why the whole idea of trying to get something for nothing is ridiculous and won't work. A top jockey will earn upwards of $200,000 a year, which will represent 10% of the winnings of the horses he rides. You might say riding a horse serves no useful purpose, but the demand is there, useful or not. It's the same with a star in show.
You can go ahead and pause that, Dave.
His or her income will very accurately.
What we're going to do in these next two segments is we're going to begin to dive in on how to improve your self-worth and how to benefit from the value of learning and how to understand that the learning process, whether you have graduated from college and have become successful, if you stop learning, when the bad things come your way, it will expose that you have not continued to learn. We have to do what is necessary, and we have to do the hard things so that we can have an easy life. If you'd like to join this conversation, the phone lines are open. 888-463-6748. That's 888-GO for it. We'll be back with more, and we'll be breaking this thing down right after this.
This segment of the show is sponsored by Shakira Roll at ERA Home Run Real Estate. Buy, sell, or rent, I can help the entire world. Need assistance with down payment? No problem. Call Shakira Roll today at 561-312-2641 or email her at info@rollhome.com. That's info@ROLLEHOME.com. Visit her website at www.rollhome.com. That's www.rollehome.com.
Who is Hayden Russo? Featured in the Black Enterprise magazine, philanthropist, community activist, successful businessman, cheerleader. Find out who's Hayden Russo. Failure is not an option. Available. Amazon.com. Car accident? Dents or scratches? Has the Florida sun faded your ride? Call High Gloss Paint and Body. Their service is fast and reliable. High Gloss Auto Paint and Body will deal with your insurance company, taking all the load off your shoulders. I know what that can be like. Call them today, 561-508-4220. They're located on 2550 Windsor Avenue, Suite A, West Palm Beach, Florida. You tell High Gloss that Hayden Russo sent you. If you would like to be a sponsor or advertiser on the show, call today at 561-723-6781. If there is a topic you would like to discuss on the show, call and inform us today at 561-723-6775. You can always reach me at Facebook at Hayden Russo. That's HYDNROUSSEAU. Motivational Speaker Incorporated. Hayden Russo, author, radio show host, motivator. Book Hayden Russo today, 561-723-6775. It's time for a change, and let Hayden Russo show you the way.
You're listening to The Hayden Russo Show on TalkZone.com. Here's Hayden Russo.
The rules to making money is simple. We have to begin to believe and understand that our goals are very important. I've gone through the statistics of letting you know that when you write down your goals, 42% chance you're likely to happen when you, as opposed to not writing them down. So we won't get into that in this segment. But prior to us going to the commercial break, we were talking about increasing your value, thereby increasing your net worth to this planet, to your family and society. How do we do that, Hayden? Well, the first thing that we have to do is we have to begin to understand that reading is going to get us there. The answers are in the books. I've told you on countless shows, okay? You can hold me accountable, okay? That's what I love about Talk Zone. Excuse me, we have to go into a short station identification. You're listening to the Hayden Russo Show on Talk Zone. TalkZone.com. So we got to, reading is where you will find the answers. If you're getting frustrated, if you're getting scared, if you're scared for anything, number one, I've said it in previous shows, acknowledge that you're scared and tell yourself the only reason I'm scared is because I'm about to do something great and my instincts want to make sure, my sixth senses want to make sure that I'm not going to do anything wrong. Okay? Now, we can't change the 24 hours a day we get, which I like to say 86,400 seconds. Y'all know how I like to do it. Okay? Your heartbeat beats 100,000 times a day. You can't increase that. You can't increase your blood flow. You can't increase the amount of oxygen that comes into your body. Okay? But you can increase the mind, though. You can enrich your mind. You can help your mind take you to places and help you accomplish things that you never thought was possible. I told you guys to look at the guys that are always driving the Bentleys. Look at the guys that's always owning the large companies. Number one, they happy Always happy. And number two, they give themselves to everything. They try to help everybody be successful because it's a formula. They know the secret. They know the law of attraction. We talked about it last show. What this universe is your genie. You just rub the bottle and the big old genie with the big muscles and with the tail end of the smoke coming out. Hello, Hayden. Thank you. Your wish is my command. Now, this fake fallacy that they tell you that you only had 3 wishes. You know, I'm glad I keep my language on check and keep the censor on, Dave, in case I slip. Okay? Let me see. What word can I use for this one? Oh, I use my homeboy word. Joe Biden. That's a bunch of malarkey. Okay? God gave you your genie so that you can have unlimited amount of wishes. But you want to know what's the problem? You don't know what you want. You want everything to come to you, but you won't ask the universe for what you want. What is it that you want? What is it that you want this life to give you? Okay? But in order for you to get there, okay, we got to speed up the process. We got to speed up the way we learn. We got to speed up the way we read. We got to just speed the process up. We got to learn. Look, your family life is not going to change. Your wife is not going to change. Your kids is not going to change. You going to work is not going to change. I don't know a lot about you guys, but you know, I brought on 2 dogs. I brought on 2 more additions into my house. I adopted 2 more people. So look. So now I have my nephew and my daughter now. And my income has remained the same. That's a problem. That's a destruction. You getting ready to go hiding. If you don't hurry up and increase your income, problems is coming for you. No different than any of you guys that making, some of you guys that I know. Look, I'm very fortunate. I have a lot of rich friends. Okay. They have the same problems as my broke friends. Or when I say broke, I mean the people that are not earning their type of money. So if they're not stronger than you are, what is the secret? They have a stronger mind. How are they developing the mind? Through reading. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to begin to learn the process of reading, how we can speed up our reading, but not speeding up our reading to the point that we can't comprehend. Okay? Not to that point. Okay? And Dave, if you go to that reading clip for me, and as you prep it up, you can get it at 1 minute and 55 seconds. We're going to play it for about 3 minutes there. I'll let you know when it's up. But let me know when you're ready, Dave. But the fact of the matter is, in order for us to improve our lives, individually and collectively, we have to increase our reading. We have to increase our value to the marketplace, thereby reducing the time that it takes us to learn. We have to reduce that time. And when we reduce that time and accelerate our learning process, things will change for us and we'll begin to live the life in abundance. Dave, if you will go into that clip, I greatly appreciate it.
For me personally, which was massive, you took my reading rate from just a couple of hundred words per minute to over 1,000 in a very short period of time. And it was a skill. You weren't born with this, were you?
No. I actually developed it. It's an interesting story. I grew up in the projects of Brooklyn. Anyone there, you ever saw the movie West Side Story? It was like the movie without the dancing and the music. I met Bernardo. He had a knife. He put it to my throat. But I found something interesting. There was one safe place in my neighborhood. It was the library.
Really?
Have you ever been in a library and felt threatened by gangbangers?
Not this week.
Or
There's some sort of filter there at the door. They don't want to go there.
It's like vampires in churches.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They don't do Barnes and Nobles either. And I discovered at a very early age, the only place safe in my neighborhood to play was the library. And they had books there, so I read them. And I got really good at reading because that's all I could do and not get killed.
Oh, really?
And I had very good reading skills as a result. When I went to college, I went to the State University of New York, Binghamton. We're going to be lecturing in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
On what I've done to the psychobiology department. I was actually their first psychobiologist. And I found out that they don't teach learning. Right. In school, I was a biologist. I went to college, studied biology. In my junior year, I got interested in the brain. How do we learn? I went to the dean. I said, I want to do a dual major, bio and psych. He says, you only have two more terms. You haven't had any psych courses. You have to do 6 science courses a term. And frankly, like they told you, you're not smart enough. And that's when it hit me. They don't teach learning in school or work.
Right.
They tell you what to learn, why to learn, what will happen if you don't learn. They don't tell you can listen to a song on the radio for 6 seconds and sing it perfectly for the rest of your life and never have a problem. Then you read a book that actually has value. And 15 minutes after you put the book down, you don't remember the title and who wrote it, let alone what was in the book.
Right.
So I cracked the code on learning, got up to 80 pages a minute, did a 4-year psych program in a year. I did a graduate course in educational psych in 7 hours. Got a B+ on the AP test, and in 50 minutes it was a 6-hour test. And then I realized that what I was doing was teachable.
Right.
And I'm going to share with you today some of the stories of some of the people I helped and how I helped them. And I'd also like to give our audience some of the strategies that I use so they could actually test it out for themselves and see an immediate improvement.
Well, that, and I mean, we've got the IamSpeedReading.com where people can actually acquire a course that will help them really develop the skill that you taught me years ago, right?
Better. You took the cassette tape version.
I did.
You know, it was almost like a phonograph. It's like a phonograph record, you know.
Yeah, I wore the words off it though. It didn't. I played it until the tape it was eaten, you know.
Actually, it was from Vic Conan and I are very good friends, and it was Nightingale Conan that did that. I used to lecture with Zig Ziglar, and I got to know Vic and all those people, and they made $65 million selling the cassette program. Now it's on DVD.
Nice.
And I've also upgraded more skills. I found out people don't want to read faster. They want to learn smarter.
They want to learn more.
And quicker.
That was the thing. When I was in college, I spent hours and hours in the first few years. I spent so much time reading, learning what I thought was learning. And then it wasn't until my junior year that I flipped the switch and finally went, oh, this is what I need to do, is learn each day what I need to know today, rather than trying to cram for the test the night before. And that might have worked in high school, but in college it will eat your lunch.
I was with Dick Cavett, the famed talk show host, about 15 years ago. He was on MSNBC at the time. And he told me a story about Woody Allen. He said he was interviewing Woody, and Woody said he took Evelyn Woods and he read the War and Peace book in 5 minutes. They said, that's amazing. What's it about? And he said, the Russian Revolution, that's all I remember. So that was the problem with speed reading. People had a very bad taste. They'd speed up, and as soon as they slowed down to learn something, the speed went away. I found a way to speed up when you want to and slow down when you need to, and I'll explain that today to our audience so they can get started as well.
Well, and I know they need to go to that IamSpeedReading.com and they can get your course. But one of the things that you did so effectively and that you teach is how to begin to engage at a subconscious level rather than just conscious. I mean, it's that whole, isn't it, they say that, 227 words is about as fast as we can talk in our head?
Very close to it. Depending, there are a few people who can go a little quicker, but the average is around 200,
Yeah. And what is it that they're doing? What's hindering people?
When most people read, they're not seeing the page, they're hearing it with their eyes. They're listening to a conversation, one word at a time. Compare that to driving at 70 miles an hour on a highway and reading the road in 4 directions, watching the GPS, listening to the radio, talking to a friend and being on the phone. The difference is when we're reading, we're not using that part of our brain that's super fast. And I found a way to tap into the movie in a book, and I've done this with people as young as 9, my grandchildren, Ariel and Maya. One was reading 770 words a minute, and one was reading 370 words a minute at 9 years old. A normal adult's 200.
Right.
My granddaughter last summer read 60 books. I'm talking books like Robinson Crusoe, not Curious George, real books. And that's what parents are looking for. They want their kids to be engaged with reading, and most kids today hate to read because it's too slow. They're used to watching television and movies, and we found the cure to the problem.
Well, and you even talk about that, how some people are trained in their brain to see so much and will remember everything. Like, how many of us, my wife always says, now, we didn't see that movie. I said, yeah, we did, and I can tell her the whole story because I can see it, right? And you're telling me that I can kind of disconnect the hearing with
Dave,
my eyes.
you can cut that, Dave.
Great.
You can cut that, Dave. The point here that I'm trying to make to you guys, okay? I get a lot of complaints. You played the clip for 3 minutes. Well, go listen to the clip. Okay? When I decide that I want to bring a clip on this show, if I gave you 3 minutes, I probably listened to 6 hours. Some of you guys, I think, and ladies, I think you don't appreciate what is being given to you. We're not just trying to just give you just minor tools. We're trying to give you the tools that you need. We're trying to give you our sources. We're trying to make sure that the information sinks in. So let's begin to dive into, once we get that reading part out of the way, okay, I'm going to show you how to accelerate that learning process so that you can make it go faster in the next segment, okay? But the principle and the thing that I want you to get out of this segment here is that you got to read every day. I don't care if it's a line. I don't care if you're reading for just 10 minutes a day and you gradually grow it. You must read every single day. It is vital to your life and your success. Okay? So, now, as we begin getting ready to go into the next segment, I'm running a little over, so I'm going to have to get into this a little bit quicker. The first ingredient to success is you got to dream. And you must have a burning desire behind that dream. Okay? The next thing that we have to do, we have to begin to understand that when you dream and you have the desire, that is the most important step. Nothing would happen without that. If you don't have the dream to be a doctor, how are you going to have the desire to work? If you don't have the dream to write a book, you'll never start typing a page. If you don't have a dream to be a reporter, you'll never start reading and learning how to be a journalist. If you don't have a dream to be a communicator, to be a producer, to be the intelligent person without being the person in front of the camera, like my good friend Dave, that makes it look so easy, make everything look easy here. But that's not me. I don't have that knowledge. But you put the two of us together, we're great. So know your dream. Have that burning desire. Okay? Get to the point where you want to be successful. That's the main important thing. Nothing will happen without your dream and your burning desire. Step 2, you got to feel good about your dreams. Okay? You got to feel good when you think about your dreams. We done talked about the left brain, the right brain. We done gave you segments on being positive. We done told you to go after your dreams. And we told you never, ever, ever give up. Never give up on your dreams. We told you that. Okay? We have given you the tools to be successful. Number 3, I've told you on many times, associate yourself with like-minded people. You want to be successful, you got to hang around successful people. You can't hang around with the people that say you can't do it. You can't hang around with the people that say, oh, I'm in debt, I don't have the money. You can't hang around the people that say that, oh, don't try it. Hey, somebody else tried it before. It wasn't you. Okay, remember, the person in the mirror is the only person that you need to be successful. I don't need all of these other excuses. Okay, that's step number 3. All right. Step number 4, you have to remember that the words that you say, remember you're speaking to that genie. Every wish that you want on the planet Earth is yours. So don't waste your words. Stop saying negative words, discouraging words, such as never works for me. I'm not lucky. I'm having a sad day. The weight of the world is on my shoulders. It's just one of those days. I'm not feeling good. Are you serious? The tongue, God has told you to hold the tongue. God has told you to be humble and stand still. And get around the negative people. I told you in recent past shows, we've told you that you are the product of your 5 closest friends. Positive words, encouraging sentences. Okay, get away from that negative stuff. I'm doing great. I'm having an exceptional day. The world couldn't be better. I'm superhuman. I have unlimited power at my disposal. I'm getting better. I'm doing great. Life is tremendous. I'm living on the water, baby. I'm living salt life. Are you serious? Everything need to be about a positive motion. Everything need to be about a positive synergy. You have to continue to always send positive messages out into the universe so that positive things can come back and find you. Step 5 on what you need to do to be rich. Think about what you want all day. Remember, we gave you in previous shows, a man is what he think about all day. Earl Nightingale told you. So don't just listen to the show and say, oh, you went to find a video. Google the video. Google the author. See what else the author has out there. You become what you think most of all the time. So start thinking about what it is that you want. I'm going to give you a quick recap on all 5 steps. Define your goal with a burning desire. Know what you want. Have your dreams. Hang around with people that's going to pull for you. Speak the right words. And go after your dreams like your life depends on it. It's time to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this. I'm sorry, Dave. I went over. Why replace your roof when you can repair it? Call Built Right Roofing today at 844-277-7663. That's 844-277-7663. Come and experience the Built Right way at 844-277-7663.
Invest in Macedonia.com. www.inmacedonia.com. The future to connecting the world.
The House of Bling is here. Woo! Specializing in rhinestone apparel. Bling out your company logo or team logo. Call today. 561-723-6781. Woo! They're ready. Get your bling, women, cheerleaders. Tell your coaches about the House of Bling. We're here for all custom apparel. Again, that phone number is 561-723-6781. Do you have a ride on your way? Are you in the New York area? When you're stuck, call on NYC Taxi Ride Yellow and Green. We have 2 apps at your availability. www.waytoride.com or www.gorro.com. NYC Yellow Cab is ready for you. The best pork, barbecue, ribs, and chicken in the state of Florida. Don't believe it? Try it yourself. Call Bounce Back Barbecue at 561-307-4382. They also do catering. That's 561-307-4382. Woo. Let that play a little bit, Dave. Hit the volume up on that beat. The wrong talk.com. It's just so most speaker live on the radio on Talk Zone. We're here to inspire you. You got me caught up again, Dave. You got to stop doing that to me. That music just does something to me. And you want to lock in what you're learning? Listen to some classical music behind in the background as you study. All you college graduate, all you Ivy League folks, okay? All you know-it-all. I tell you what, listen to some music in the background when you're studying and tell me if that doesn't help you be successful. Okay? Tell me that doesn't help you to get to where you want to be. Dave, if you wouldn't mind, could you go to that third clip for me? Because I want to help them to accelerate their learning. If you can go to 19 minutes and 30 seconds, and we're going to play that up to 19 minutes, 30 seconds up to 21 minutes. We'll play that. And as Dave get that together, I hope that we're giving you the tools. And I gave you steps 1 through 5, and I'm going to give you step 6 right now. You have to read books. Leaders always read. Are you serious? I just told you if I want to put a 3-minute, if I want to put a 30-second spot on here, I've listened 10 times to music. If I told you that I want to put 3 minutes, I told you I listened to 10 times. So if I listen to 3 minutes, I'm telling you that I've done listened to 30 minutes, but I've done listened to 6 hours. I go and I research what it is. Get away from the negative people. Turn your thinking around. Get happy. Start feeling good about yourself. And remember, most of the things that you will hear positive about you will come from you. So when you look at yourself, say positive things in the mirror about yourself. I was watching I love watching commencement speeches on YouTube. You want to learn facts? Watch cartoons and commencement speeches. People say cartoons, man. Look, when you're watching cartoons, everything is facts in there. They want the kids to learn. It's when we get it up to the adult version, we start all this distraction. I love watching cartoons and reading books to help me turn my life around. Read books like on Earl Nightingale. We told you about the how do you think and grow rich. Get what you want. Okay? We told you all these things, all right? So, Dave, if you'll go into that clip for a minute, and then I'll come right back with you guys. The phone lines are open. 888-463-6748. That's 888, go forward. Dave, go ahead and cut into that clip, please.
Minds are not built to accurately estimate time. And in the early parts of learning something new, it's like, it's terrible. It's like, oh man, I've been at this hours. And you look at the clock and you've been at it 10 minutes.
Right.
And so a lot of the,
Hey, Dave, do me a favor, Dave. Do me a favor. I want you to save this part. I want to give the audience a little bit different, something different. I want them to know who this guy is, and I want them to be able to go get this book. So if you wouldn't mind, start it from the beginning, and then we'll come back to this.
everybody. I'm Jonathan Fields, and this is Good Life Project. So my guest today is Josh Kaufman, and this is a special episode. One of the things that we've discovered through a lot of our viewers is that the process of trying to live a good life, a better life, often requires you learning a new set of skills. We've had a ton of questions over the last year from people who say, I would love to do this, but I don't have time in my life to do it. I don't want to wait forever to make it happen. So we're bringing you Josh, who's also the author of a book called The First 20 Hours, who's an expert in, I guess, what I would call accelerated learning. So great to be hanging out with you today.
Thanks for having me. Great to hang out.
Couldn't sort of like have asked for a better person to drop in at a better time, because it really is. It's an interesting thing. It seems like the world is moving faster. Mm-hmm. We all want to get stuff done. A lot of people want to make big changes and feel like they're living better lives, but they look out there and they're like, there's stuff that I need to know, stuff that I need to learn, stuff that I need to master to do it, and I just don't have time in the day to do it.
Right.
So I'm curious. I mean, I want to get like right in with you, sort of like the idea behind your book.
Sure.
But one quick question first, which is, what was the motivation for you to actually go down this rabbit hole?
Yeah. So two primary motivations. The first is, in terms of the research and the writing that I do, I like to look at topics that are like fundamental human experiences, like things that everybody needs to know or everybody deals with in some way, shape, or form. And those things can be big and complex and scary and frustrating in a lot of ways. But if you just dive in and break it down, what you often find is it's not really as hard as it feels. And so part of the motivation was, learning is something, learning new skills is a fundamental part of what it is to be human. And so let's figure out how to do that. Let's figure out how to do it better.
And most people, for most people, for me, the thought of learning new stuff, I'm giddy. I love it. But for a lot of people,
it's terrifying.
Right.
Particularly if it's something would be super fun or super valuable, but you know nothing about it, and you just look at it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is really big. The motivation for me personally was, I run my own business. My wife Kelsey runs her own business, and 2.5 years ago, our daughter Leela came into the world, and all of a sudden we had zero free time, and so I, just like you, I really geek out about this stuff. I have a list of things that I want to learn a mile long. And so, not having any time, it's like, okay, I may only be able to set aside, half an hour.
Go ahead and cut that
day. Yeah. So that's all I have.
So we're talking about 45 minutes a day that you can begin to learn a new habit. Okay? 45 minutes a day, 2 20-minute sessions. Okay? I'm running out of time, so I got to get into this thing live here. I got to get into the heart of this thing, okay? We have to feed the brain, okay? It is important that you listen to motivational songs and speakers, go to seminars, go to training, read, do anything that you can on the reading side. Go to workshops and seminars when you can. Listen to audiobooks. That is secret number 7. Okay? That is secret number 7. Secret number 8, guys, listen. Attend seminars, read books, motivational speeches, learn from your boss, learn from your coworkers. Just continue learning. Number 9, guys, number 9. I got to tell you, number 9, it's nice and special. You need to get recognized for your achievement. You need to hang around with people that support you. Some of that may be family members, but now remember, stay away from the dream stealers. Stay away from the dream stealers. We'll come back with the number 10 success. Dave, if you'll go into that 19 minutes and 30 seconds for me to the 21, I greatly appreciate it.
Are not built to accurately estimate time. And in the early parts of learning something new, it's like, it's terrible. It's like, oh man, I've been at this hours. And you look at the clock and you've been at it 10 minutes.
Right.
And so a lot of the, both pre-committing to a certain amount of practicing. So 20 hours roughly is about 40 minutes a day per month.
Okay.
Give or take.
So you can kind of think in your mind 40 minutes a day for a month.
So a couple of, and I usually break my practice sessions into about 20 minutes apiece, right? So 2 20-minute practice sessions every day for about a month can get you there. And so, if you're able and willing to do that, pre-committing the time, make sure that you practice long enough to see that really good result. But it's also, psychologically it doesn't feel like that big of a hurdle to say, okay, this is important to me.
Right.
I can set aside at least that amount of time, right? So it's just enough that you're going to see dramatic results, but not so much that it prevents you from making the pre-commitment in the first place.
I love that. So let's recap the 5 steps.
Okay. So the 5 steps in order. Step 1, decide what you want. What's your target performance level? Step 2 is deconstruct the skill. Separate it into smaller sub-skills. Practice the most important ones first. Number 3 is research the skill just enough to do the deconstruction and choose the most important sub-skills, but not so much that it becomes a barrier to practice in itself. Number 4 is eliminate barriers to practice. Make it easy to do what you want to do. And number 5 is pre-commit to practicing whatever it is that you want to be able to do for at least 20 hours.
Love it. All right. So my mind.
Go ahead and cut that, Dave. Go ahead.